All right, guys, welcome back to another KevCAM night class tonight. Just want to welcome everybody back. I can't remember if we've had a class since the new year, but I just want to welcome everybody back. And what we're going to be doing today is kind of a wrap up of a part that we did about a month and a half ago. Been kind of busy with the 2019 and the Swiss and all that other stuff, so we can finally get back to that wheel part on the mill turn side of things. So I don't see any new names in here, so we'll skip the plain boring stuff for you guys that are here all the time, and we'll just dive right into it. All right, so what?
It has been a while. No introductions for the new year.
Oh yeah, and sorry, I forgot to introduce you guys. So we have Jennifer helping out with any questions, and then Greg here holding my hand through the process as well.
Emotional support.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, so hopefully you guys kind of still remember this part. What we did so far is we did everything on the main turret for the Mac 1 Pos 1 here, and getting all this material out. And I'll just kind of do a quick run through here. Is we just did a basic facing operation, facing off our part. We did a OD turn around the outside. Let me kind of get my part panned around here so you guys can get a little bit better of a view. Let's go turning. So we got the front face, OD turn. We're doing a through hole, and then we bored out that through hole. And then what we did is, let me pan this part just a little bit to the side, is we kind of roughed out, roughed and finished this counter bore, I guess you'd say, right here, using our face grooving. And then we did a 3D eye machining, getting all the material out of here. And let me uncheck all this here. And then we just did a simple pocketing operation, coming in here and cleaning up these flat walls that were on here. And then did some HSS and did the surfacing, going back and forth, getting that 3D surfacing in there. So if we just do a quick simulate here, solid verify. And let me just check my accuracy real quick. Okay. We'll buzz through this surfacing real quick so we can kind of see where we left off with. And hopefully everybody kind of remembers this part.
And if they don't remember, the original video is on YouTube, right?
Yes, sir.
Maybe we'll be nice and put a direct link in on this video to part one.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I know last time we ran out of time, so we're to do the backside, so we'll get that all finished up for you guys tonight. Now, while this is being played or playing through, we had a great idea at IMTS. So what I'm going to start doing is implementing those ideas from Ronnie. And I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but I want to put you guys on the spot. So I'm going to come up with maybe a simple prismatic part for one night class and a simple part for 3D milling on another part and for a different class. And if I could have one of you guys just email me that you'd be okay sharing your screen and showing your process of programming that, just so we can get a feel for, you got Greg and myself, that both work at SolidCAM, but you guys are in the shop on a day-to-day basis. We like to kind of get your guys' take, because like Ronnie Kidder, he's got, I think, 140 years machining experience or something like that. So he's a lot of skill there, a lot of talent that Greg and I haven't seen. Or Greg Malloy, or any of you guys that are on here, let me know if you guys feel comfortable doing that, and shoot me an email for those guys that are interested. Like I said, I'm not going to put you on the spot. You guys will have some prep time. I'll send you the part, a week ahead of time so you guys can kind of view it. Just want to see how you guys program it compared to myself or Greg, how other guys in the industry do it. Say it that way. And Ronnie, sorry, but no matter what, you have to program a part, so.
Yeah, but we're going to give him the 2D part. That way he actually has a chance to program something in only 2 axes.
Okay, so we got our part here, and we got everything finished on that front side. So basically, what we're going to be doing now is transferring it over to our, we can run that execute real quick here. So everything's that greenish yellow here. So we're right up to size, but we do have our blue now to take care of. So what we are going to do is transfer it over to our sub spindle. Greg, do you remember in our last class, did we set up a Mac or a JAWS for that second side, for that second setup? I know it's been a long time.
I don't believe it was, but it has been quite a long time. So.
Yeah. So what I did, probably when Greg and I were in South Dakota, is I set up, I couldn't remember if we did or didn't, so I set up clamps for my sub spindle here. If I do a show, you can see my clamps over here. If I actually want to see the workpiece in there, I can come over here, and say in stock, and this is basically what it's going to look like right here. Of the jaws that I'm using and how I'm clamping onto that. Now, with that being said, let me put it back in stock for that main, is right now I only need one setup, because in my one setup I have my Mac 1 and I have my Mac 2 for my main spindle and my sub spindle. So what I can do is, a lot of you guys that are running these mill turn machines, you guys can actually create a MCO to transfer the part. Now, since the MCOs are heavily relied on by the post processor, what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to create a MCO, which is a machine control option, and I'm just going to tell it that Ronnie Kidder took the part and brought it over to the sub spindle. So basically, by putting that MCO in there, we're telling it that the operator manually transferred the stock over to the sub spindle. And that's it. That's all we're doing right there. Now, like you guys, for those of you guys that do have mill turn machines, the MCO will probably be already in your list over here or up here, depending on how your post was set up, and the post writer would set up that MCO part transfer for you guys. So, okay. So now we can just do save and calculate. So basically what that MCO is telling it is it's transferring the stock over to the sub spindle now. All right. So until I haven't done this in a little while, getting out of breath here. All right. So now what we can do is do a facing, or we can do turning. Doesn't really matter. And we will do it for Mac 2. So it's letting us know that it is sitting in the sub spindle. And what I'll do here is I'm going to grab this chamfer and straight down just to face off. Hit the green check mark. And I'm going to do my modify geometry and do auto extend to the stock. All right, so now what we can do is I'll create a new tool, and we'll do a external turning. And I want to do a CNMG 432 C and G 4 2. And now I need to orientate it so it's going in the right direction. So I'm going to go to my mounting here and go like that. Hit our green check mark here. Okay, so now we can go to our technology and we can tell it back face and we can do a finish. And now should see a, whoop, well, I'll show you here. I know there's one thing I just messed up on. Let's go to turning here. And obviously, since I am working on the sub spindle, I don't want my tool coming over from the upper right corner. I want it coming from the upper left corner for clearance and whatnot. But that's an easy enough modification. Play this through here. And there we go. And you can see we just wiped out our jaws right there. If we just do this in Solid Verify. Yep. So that's a great indicator telling me that I've got my tool coming from the wrong side here. So let's go to our link, and instead of right safety corner, I will do left. And now you'll see it come from the correct way, come over here and work its way over. What were we going to say there, Greg?
What I would like to see is, since we get a lot of calls on people working on the sub spindle without that stock transfer, can you get rid of that MCO and just kind of show everybody what it would look like if the stock hasn't been properly transferred to the sub spindle?
Excellent. So if you guys are programming and you guys see this square box show up right here, especially when you guys are doing mill turn, that means that something isn't jiving with the operation list. So right now it's popping up, and let me just expand this so yeah, it doesn't show me an error. It's basically saying that it doesn't know where the stock is currently. The stock is not matching what the setup is up here. So
if you hover over the name, it gives you that contextual error message.
Stock is absent on this. I forgot about that. So if you just hover over it, like Greg said, you'll be good. So now let's say that you are taking this part and flipping this part. Do I go down that road, Greg? If I was actually
not with the current coordinate system that you have.
Yeah. If you guys just had one spindle and you guys were manually taking that part out and turning it around in the chuck, then for something like that, since you are staying on that main spindle, you would have to have two setups. So you'd have to have a setup for your Mac 1 and a setup for your Mac 2. And then by doing the two setups there, for one spindle is kind of the rule of thumb there. So back here, do our MCO, Ronnie Kidder op CNC move, save and calculate, and now you'll see that that red box goes away. So great question, thanks Greg. Okay, so now let's see, I got to do a quick turning here to see what I have left. Okay, so I got to do my face grooving now. So I got to get all this material out here, and I should be able to get that out all with one tool here. But let's try it. So we'll do a grooving operation here, and doing our Mac 2, and we'll do new. And so kind of like what we talked about in the past, the dark green line is my stock that is or my remaining stock that I have left over. So what I'll do is I'll chain from right here and chain up to right here. So I'm going to just get that, basically the rest material out of there. Okay. And go to our tool. And we will use a external grooving. And let's just do a 0.125. That looks fine. Let's just do 100 thou. Looks good, good, good. And let's just do insert only. And we want pointing the opposite way. So you can see up here, I can see my insert much better now. And like I said before, if you guys have a whole lot of tools in here, gets pretty cluttered up pretty quickly. So you guys can actually just hide all the tools, and then you can zoom in and you can actually see your insert and which way it's going. So if you guys ever need to get in there and remove all the extra tools, or even the machine, if there's a machine in there, you guys can turn those off by right here.
And if you can't find the insert that you're looking for, you can hit the little crosshairs icon to zoom directly to that tool.
So let's kind of zoom out here. So we're kind of off in La La Land right here. Gets you a nice zoomed in view. Great point. Okay. So green checkbox. All right, so I'll skip over levels here, and we are going to do a backside facing here. And we can set up our parameters. Let's leave 8 thou for my Y distance. Save and calculate. And let's see what we got cooking here. Turning. So you can see my remaining stock still there. If I just hit the play or the single step button once, you can see the blue is the area that I need to get rid of. And I'm just doing a stair method. I can't talk. A stair method, just chunking this material out of there. Now, obviously, I can probably go much deeper than that 40 thou that is there, and it's coming all the way down to leave that 8 thou on the X and Z for one nice finish pass. And there's our finish pass going all the way around. And let's play that through in Solid Verify for you guys. Now, if you guys see a couple more buttons in here out of the ordinary, all the night classes going forward will be ran in SolidCAM 19. So once we start getting that stuff released for you guys, I know, Ronnie, you work on some pretty complex parts, but if anybody else, if you guys are looking to get to, like, if you're running a 3-axis machine, we're ready for you. We're still in the process of getting the simultaneous 5-axis stuff 100% dialed in for the post processors. And we got another finish pass. So let's just verify it real quick. So we're green, yellow. We're all up to size. The only thing left is our holes. So let's hop out of here for a second. Turn off our toolpath. Now, since we are using these holes and they are off-centered, I cannot use my drilling, because drilling inside of the turning is just going to go right off the center line. So I need to use my live tooling for this. Easy enough. What I'm going to do is just do a 2.5D, and we'll do a drilling. And what I need to do is, since I'm working on my sub, I need to switch it over to Mac 2, but I need my Z pointing straight out for my Mac 1 position 1, or I'm sorry, position 2. And what I'll actually do here is just do new geometry. And I'll just grab that one hole for right now. And we'll do select. Grab a spot drill here. Go to my technology, levels, sorry. Drill depth, is this face right here. And then what I'm going to do is a diameter value, which is the 267, and I'm actually going to make that 277, just for a 10th thou edge break. And just do a simple drill, save and calculate. And now what I'm going to do is just do a simple transform around 4-axis. So I will say include original. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, which is what, 60 degrees. Insert. And you'll see I have my little purple dots all lined up here. Hit OK. And let's do a solid verify here. And you can see our spot drills going all the way around. So the only thing I really have left after this is the drilling. And what I can do is just make a copy of what I did. And we will switch the tool over. Add a drill. Highlight that 1/4 inch, and I'll just select on the edge. My numbers will populate for me, pointing in the right direction. And levels now are going to be a little bit different. Looks like they're blind holes, so I will just do drill depth right to that drill point, and we'll say tip. And let's do a pecking. Slide these over here. 100 thou. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the reverse direction. This is one thing. Doesn't matter if you guys are just kind of doing one-off parts, but if you guys are into the production, basically what it's going to do is it's going to start here with the spot drill all the way around, and then it's going to change tools and leave off right there and start at the ending point of the spot drill and start drill, and come back to the beginning. So that's one option in there for you guys to save, like I said, if you're doing high production, where that every little second counts, that is a helpful thing to have. Okay, save and calculate. Do solid verify here. Now, for the guys that haven't seen this before, anytime you guys are doing any milling, live tooling work, let's say, it's not going to show up correctly in the turning dialog, because you can see right here, it's projected through a slice. We have no way of rotating this or anything like that. So if you guys are seeing this and like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Switch it over to solid verify, and then you're going to see everything, correctly. There we go. Wait a minute, was that the reverse order? Let me play both those through and make sure that took. Oops. Single step it through here. Now this was a customer's part file that they did want to see done. All right, so we're going counterclockwise. No, it didn't reverse it. take a peek here.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
The reverse direction is for if you're selecting all those holes as geometry, but you've only selected one hole.
Oh.
So there's nothing really the reverse. You need the reverse your transformation.
Yes, that's right. Great point. Okay, so yeah. So what Greg is saying is when I picked my geometry, I only picked one hole. I didn't actually pick all these holes. I did a transform. So if I wanted to do that, I would have to reverse my transform. Thank you for that, Greg. But
like I said, emotional support.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just play this through one last time just to make sure we have everything. And while this is pulling up here, guys, any questions? So we should have a fully finished part here now.
Please show a no drag on the groove for finish, says Ronnie Kidder.
No drag. This one here. No drag. Which would Ronnie? I'm guessing if you go to single, are you talking like doing a single down? So we have single, and I can switch it from side to side, from middle to outside. I got a couple different options here where I can go to constant, switch it over to columns. That way, and I can do from side.
Well, he's talking about the finish pass. So let's go over the finishing options that are available.
So, okay. No drag. I'm just trying to think. Try down only. You got it, Ronnie. Let's go to turning.
See, I thought he was referencing the time they spent with you out in Chicago and your penchant for dresses.
It's a good thing Ronnie wasn't there when. Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Nope, that's good, Greg, says Ronnie.
All right, and getting close here. I'll slow down the simulation a little bit. Is that where you're looking for, Ronnie? I'm just not sure what you mean by no drag. Yes. Well, heck, hit that one on the head there, Greg. Perfect. So I guess with that being said, we do have a couple of different options here. We can do a staircase method. You can kind of see what it's doing here in the picture, kind of working its way over, and then so it's just kind of moving in the down motion, and then to the left. We have the groove method. So it's kind of starting from the center and working its way to the outside edges. I'm guessing this would probably be what you're looking for as well, Ronnie. Or we also have the down only. So it's cutting, I would say, unless I'm missing something here, but down only and the groove method look very similar. We also have an advanced down only, and you can set it up so you can switch up your grooving parameters here and you can switch up your plunge conditions. So, you know, as you're plunging, you can have your spindle reduced by 100%, or reduced by 75%, or your feed reduced, stuff like that. So. Okay. So a lot of different options here for you guys. And if you guys do have more questions about this, definitely check out the night class we did on grooving. But we'll just leave it at down only, and to get a nice good finish in here. And I guess if we were to run this part on the floor, I would not be doing 40,000 step downs. I'd do like 150. Getting that material out of there as fast as possible.
What was the width of that tool?
Oh, whoops. Step over. Oh, what the heck was the width of that tool? 100,000. So
you probably use like a 1/8" tool or something.
5. And going down. 0.125. There we go. Turning. There we go. That looks a little better. We're going full out roughing. All right, guys. Any other questions that I can answer? Anybody interested in doing?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, we touched on it briefly, but maybe a little more in depth on why we went to Mac 2-2 when it came to the milling tools.
Yes. Pause this. Maybe.
Well, while you're working on that, for those guys that were wondering why we went to a sub position for the milling tools, is that anytime you're working with a driven tool or a tool that's going to be spinning itself instead of the spindle doing the turning, you want to orientate that tool counter to the z-axis. So you want it opposing that z-axis. And what that does within the software is it aligns that tool properly. You're still going to have to go into the mounting and make sure that in your tool table, the tool is mounted correctly. But from the programming side of things, anything that's going to be a milling tool has to come in opposing that z-axis to get the tool path to come out right. So what we do is we create that secondary sub position. That way we can align that tool properly and achieve that tool path.
Yeah, thank you for that, Greg. I'm trying to figure out what's wait a second here. There we go. All right, so let's do a coordinates manager here. Let's uncheck the one, and you can see. I'm trying to show it so it's not showing the Mac one. Pause one. But you can kind of see we got the 2-1 and the 1-1. The Z's are pointing straight out, which for this machine they need to be for the main and sub spindle. But our secondary live tune, like Greg was talking about here is our Z's pointing out towards our holes, which are defined right there. So yeah, thank you for filling that in, Greg. Trying to think of anything else that I could show you guys just on this specific part. Like I said, this was a customer's part file. But if you guys
Ronnie's asking if we have another class on SolidWorks or SolidCAM 2019 coming.
Oh, let me tell you, Ronnie, we got all kinds of classes coming up on 2019. A lot of great stuff has come out, especially I think one of the bigger ones is the new simulator that's come out. But yes, we are going to go through 19 with a fine-tooth comb, just because they added a lot of milling functionality in there for you guys. So we'll be going through all the steps of that, and actually it's probably going to be a month to month and a half's worth of night classes for you guys for 2019, because there is quite a bit that they added in there, and a lot of really cool stuff. Like I said, I don't know what your favorite is, Greg, but mine is this SolidCAM simulator that I can have running on a separate screen, or I can actually have it running side by side over here while I'm programming my part.
What they're calling the mini-me functionality of that new simulator is pretty interesting.
Yep. So it's really cool. You guys can actually see your simulation in a little mini-me version over here. So it's pretty cool stuff. So yes, we are going to be having lots of classes going over that. So covering not so much mill turn, but more geared towards the milling side of things and the easy use and functionality that they added in there for you guys. So
yeah, I think one of the things that's going to please a lot of people, and probably the one that we've had the most requests for simulator-wise, has been the reverse button, which is going to be pretty exciting. To where we'll have a full record of that tool path, to where you can watch the tool go through, remove the material, and then be able to play that in reverse and watch it add the material back or drag the slider bar. Lots of cool things that are happening with that new simulator. Lots of functionality that you could do with it. I mean, with as much as they added and are still adding on a regular basis, I mean, we could probably devote an entire night class just to that.
Yeah, and that's what my kind of plan is. I want to get these guys really familiar with it. So, but all right, guys. Well, I don't have anything else to show unless we start diving into 19. But I want to make sure that's fully released for you guys, so you guys can kind of play with it as watching the video too. So next week we are going to be programming another part file. Let me just see if I have it real quick. I can show you which one it is. Bring this over on a side screen so you guys don't have to see me navigate through here. And drag this. I close out this part here. We will be programming this part, and I say we because I'm definitely going to need Greg's expertise in this area as well, from start to finish on a Swiss machine for you guys. I know a lot of you guys don't have Swiss, but excuse me, there's a lot of functionality that carries over from the mill turn over into the Swiss side for you guys, and you guys can see a lot of differences or commonalities as well programming this part on the Swiss. So this is a part that Greg and myself and Daniel cut live on site with the customer to kind of prove out all the axes, and I figured it's a good part to kind of go through with you guys as well, because it's kind of, we got some Up here we got some wrap functionality, we got some angle head, we got some live turning up here, live turning right here. So, and this will be all done on a Citizen Swiss machine for you guys. So hopefully you guys are excited about that. But
yeah, for the eagle-eyed viewers out there, in the part name, we'll kind of give away what machine it's going to be on.
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
L32.
Yep. But and then yeah, and then we'll hopefully by then we'll be ready for 19 for you guys. So and we'll be start going through that for you guys. So all right, I'll stop rambling here. Let you guys go, and just want to thank you guys for attending the night class tonight. And any ideas, suggestions, send those over to me via email. Everybody should have my email. Everybody that's watching this on YouTube, my email address is in the description below. As well as, please let me know if you'd be interested in programming a simple part. Like I said, you'll have plenty of time ahead of time to look over the part. And so we're just not throwing you on the spot live. So I just kind of want to see your guys' take on how to program a part. So, all right, guys. Well, have a great evening, and we will talk to you guys next week. Thanks, guys.
Good evening, all. Thank you. Bye-bye.